And I'm back again. So, here are my thoughts on episode 8 of season 3 of The Bad Batch. Bad territory. It took 8 episodes for them to come up with a title where they throw Bad Batch and then bad again and bad territory. And we see essentially Space Florida is the best way you could describe it. So like last video, synopsis, my thoughts, and what I think is going to happen next. All right. So synopsis: the Bad Batch decide to split the party once they get back to the Little Main Village world from the previous episode. They decide to leave Omega and Crosshair on planet side, while Hunter and Wrecker go out into space to meet, of all people, Fennec Shand. Fennec, the bounty hunter that I'm pretty sure if you're watching this you're familiar with, always finds ways to bump into the Bad Batch. So, because of the M count, just instead of midichlorians, the Batch are trying to figure out, okay, what's up with all these midichlorian count or M count. And because only high tier bounty hunters have been usually targeting bounties around the high M counts, they got that information from the treasure hunting pirate from season 2. And hence why Hunter and Wrecker are trying to find Fennec. Well, they find Fennec, and Fennec was like, how about, I will give you this information, you just gotta do me a favor, help me out with the job. And their job is basically trying to capture a Bugman alive. And that Bugman lives on, again, basically Bayou, Florida, Space Bayou. Alright? And what happens next is a kind of comedic series of shenanigans where, as they're boating around the bayou, they come across a minefield in the water. And Fennec has Hunter and Wrecker disable the mines, during which they meet the local wildlife. And yes, it's basically gators. That's why I'm thinking, oh, so they've been to Florida. Why don't we just put Florida in space? There you go. So they yeah, that's where I was. Sorry. They help her disable the mines, and once they get back on the boat, they find a way to Mr. Bugman's place. And when they get to Bugman's place, Fennec needs to capture him alive. So, fighting the Bugman, who is basically a praying mantis, esque kind of creature, actually puts up a really solid fight against the three of them. But eventually, they do capture him, and during that little job, Fennec just kind of pokes the Batch a little bit how things are going with Omega, and Hunter and Wrecker are kind of obviously keeping it close to the chest because they're working with Fennec Shand. She has a reputation for a reason, but it's revealed that during their little back and forth, semi catching up, Fennec didn't purposefully let Omega go. The client told her to let Omega go, because the client figured she'd be safer with the Batch. Now, in this case, the client could be Nala Se. Nala Se realizing she's safer with a Bad Batch kind of tracks, actually, because Nala Se, every time we've seen her, at least in season 3, she is trying to get Omega away from the Empire as much as possible. And the Bad Batch is basically probably one of the best ways to do it. I mean, she didn't go with Cut Up and his family. So, yeah, now the next best thing to keep Omega away from the Empire is, unfortunately, the Bad Batch. So, speaking of Omega, what does Omega and Crosshair do this entire time while Wrecker and Hunter are in Space Florida? Well, they Omega gets told by Hunter, see if you can convince Crosshair to get his little shaky hand thing going on, see if you can get that looked at, which he does. And AZ pretty much looks at him and says, okay, so after this little scanty bit, does this thing work? Crosshair's like, a little bit. It basically doesn't really solve it. AZ brings up the idea, hey, maybe what happened to you, what's wrong with the hand, is more what happened to you in the prison. And Crosshair takes this as well as you imagine. No, AZ doesn't get shot. He just shoves AZ away and storms out of the patio room. And Omega decides, trying to help Crosshair, decides to teach him how to meditate. And it's kind of hilarious when you realize, yeah, no, Omega knows how to meditate, not because of Jedi shenanigans, just she learned it through the Wookiee episode we had in season 2. And that was a good callback, because it would make the most sense for Omega to try that. And that's probably actually what helped her in her prison episodes. Or, I mean, the off-screen prison episodes, which, again, I wish we saw at least a little bit more of, but it's too late now for that. So, yeah, that's kind of the episode. It was debatably filler, to be completely honest. It is kind of cool whenever Fennec shows up on screen. Just another, call me an edgy boy fan, but she is a good reminder of what the galaxy is. And out of all the bounty hunters to focus on, or at least reasonably interact with the Bad Batch, if they are avoiding Boba, that's a rant for my retrospective. Yeah, Fennec makes the most sense. So, I believe I am fully caught up now with the rest of the internet on the Bad Batch. Sorry it took me so long to actually get these thoughts and episodes out. What do I think will happen next? Well, if this episode's to go by anything, Fennec will get back to them, if not next episode, then 2 episodes from now, about what the M count thing is. Even though we all know it's midichlorians. My apologies. Okay, that's my main theory, and I'm probably not the only one with that theory. They just shortened midichlorians to M count. Let's see. Oh yeah, what do I think is going to happen next episode? Well, I have a hunch that Wrecker and Hunter are going to go on another mission of some sort, leaving Crosshair and Omega on Planetside. Or Hunter's going to go on a mission with Crosshair, leaving Wrecker and Omega Planetside. Basically, I see more episodes coming where the party is split, and because there was no mention of Tech or hints at where Tech is at, Tech might surprise us and pop up next episode or 2 more episodes down the line. Or or they might bring him back at the second to last episode. Which I would be impressed. I would be impressed that they actually do bring him back at the second to last episode. I'd be more impressed if they don't bring him back in the show, to be completely honest. Because then that Bad Batch the show will actually let death be a thing. So, we're just gonna have to see on the elusiveness on where Tech actually is. So yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on this episode, and what I think is going to happen next in the series. If you like my thoughts and these more quicker, smaller type of videos, go ahead, like, share, and subscribe. I don't have time to make another video today, but I plan to do a reaction to the Acolyte trailer, because I realized that trailer dropped, I think pretty much the same time that not the Acolyte, the Eclipse trailer. I think that trailer dropped pretty much the same time as the Acolyte did, and Yeah, no, I might need to actually rewatch the Acolyte trailer with how mad the internet is getting at it, or need to do some more looking up on the director of the Acolyte. So either way, if you like this type of videos, like, share, subscribe, and until next time, may the force be with you.